What up, guys? My name is Rocky. My Instagram is Rockyg_Inkz. I'm a tattoo artist based out of downtown Los Angeles, and you're watching Blazted.
I am a dog off the leash. Watch where you step, my vicinity deep. Taste you when we meet as the blood of my enemies seep through my teeth. Claws run deep, move with the pack, so we all gon' eat. TC and NCG, bring the stars out. Bitch, bring the bones out. Welcome to the guardhouse.
So I was born in Harbor City. I grew up, I kind of moved around a lot, man. I grew up in like Gardena, spent some time in Inglewood, and then around 6th or 7th grade, I went to Palmdale. Bumfuck nowhere, dog. I don't know if you heard of Palmdale, but it's like a fucking desert. Yeah, it's fucking, it's bad. But yeah, I was there for a while, dog. Like from 7th grade to high school, Palmdale High. Yeah, I went to Palmdale High. Man, damn. So like, I went through like a whole cholo phase and shit, you know, like 9th grade. Yeah, I met some people in the 9th, in my freshman year. We used to live on Cape Cod Lane in Palmdale, and I had this homie named Chris and Heido, big homies. You know, they were part of a hood. And I used to hang out with them a lot, bro, and I wanted to be a part of that, you know, and my pops and all that shit, you know, his background. So I was like, yeah, cool, I'm going to get into this. So I started hanging out with these fools. So, like, 9th grade was all bad. Like, 9th grade was all, like, you know, the whole gangster thing, whatever, trying to be a gangster, whatnot. 9th grade, 10th grade, and then junior year, I met some different people. Then I went, like, complete opposite. I went, like, with the whole, like, party theme bullshit. Like, it was whack, fool. But, yeah. So 9th, 10th grade was like trying to be a gangster. 11th grade was hanging out with the party people. Then 12th grade still with the party people a little bit. It was cool. It was a cool little experience. High school was dope. Now looking back, I'm like, man, high school is dumb. And it's crazy because like when you're in high school's like everything, bro. Like high school means so much. Like you have to be cool and you got to do this, you got to do that. You have to fit in this trend. Like that shit's fucking dumb. I think it's so stupid. Now I look back, I'm like, I was dumb. I was a stupid little boy. After high school, we moved to Colorado, bro. My pops took us to Colorado, and then I was there for like 6 months. I was like, Dad, I can't do this no more. So I moved back to my grandma's house in Inglewood. And yeah, it's a trip, bro. I was at my grandma's house, dog. And what happened was, I remember my grandma was like, you need to get a job. You can't just be living here. And I was like, all right, I got to figure this out. You know, I was 18 years old, bro. I think 19 maybe. No, I was 18. And we were living in Inglewood. And I got a job at fucking Burger King. And I remember, man, I was walking home. And I was like, damn, this is it. This is my life. Like, I'm going to live in my grandma's house, work at fucking Burger King. This is what I want. This is it. This is what I'm settling for. And I looked to my right, and I saw Armed Forces Career Center. And I walked across the street, and then I signed up for the military. Just like that. Just like that, bro. I swear to God. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, what am I going to, I'm the stereotype right now. A young 18-year-old Mexican kid in the hood, gonna work at Burger King forever. So I was like, fuck, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I went across the street, like I said, and I enlisted the army. And I walked in, and I remember some big-ass black fool. He was cool, dog, named Batista. Super cool-ass dude. He was like, what's up, bro? You want to be in the army? I'm like, hell yeah. And then he had this little homie named Martinez. Hey, you want to be a human chainsaw? I was like, fuck yeah. He's like, all right, we're going to enlist you, bro. You're going to jump out of airplanes. You're going to do all this cool shit. I was like, all right, cool. And he sold me. He's like, sign me up. Human chainsaw, sign me up, dog. And yeah, I went home after that. I talked to my grandma. My grandma was like, you did what? And she called my dad. Yeah, fool, and that was it. Like a month later, I got shipped off to boot camp. Fuck, it was a trip. I remember I was like a little bitch, man. I remember I called my dad. We were in basic training, And they had allowed us a phone call when we landed, and I called my dad like a little girl. I was like, Dad, I'm here. I'm so scared. Bro, I was terrified, you know. I was 18 years old. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, you know. And like the places where we were sleeping at the time, we had like, I forgot what it's called, but we were only there for like a couple of days, but everything was like concrete, like the bathroom was concrete, and like everything, it was like a jail cell, you know. And I was like, fuck, like I felt like I was in jail. I was like, oh my God. Like, so I called my dad scared, you know, Dad, like, fuck, I'm here. And I don't want to cry, you know, because I remember like you can't cry in jail, you know. I called my dad, I said, Dad, I'm scared. He's like, it's okay, mijo, you're strong. I was like, oh, I'm scared. 18 years old, looking back like, you fucking bitch, you know. But yeah, it was cool, dog. Like, I did like 3.5 years. It was cool. Jumped out of airplanes, you know. It was cool, bro. It was a good time. I met a lot of cool people, bro. Now, you know what? I didn't deploy, you know. And obviously, I guess that was a bigger plan, you know. I'm not super religious, you know, but I do believe in a higher power, God, and, you know, I feel like, yeah, I mean, God was kind of just like, nah, bro, you're not going. And it was weird because I had got stationed to a unit that was non-deployable. So even if I wanted to deploy, they wouldn't allow us to deploy because we had to train people who were deploying. So our job was to train the people who were deploying. But yeah, man, it was a trip. I met a lot of cool people in there. I feel like one thing I do admire about the military, I mean, I'll talk shit about the military like for fun, but the one thing I do admire, man, is a brotherhood. Like, it really is what you see in movies, you know, like as cliche as it sounds, like if you watch these movies like Lone Survivor and like American Sniper and the brotherhood you establish, it is that, bro. You know, there's some fools to this day that I still talk to, you know, and I'll do anything for them, you know what I mean? There's only a handful of them, but yeah, bro, it's cool. So I got out of the army. I got out of the army early, about 3 months early before my ETS date, and I went to school for music. Yeah, so I used to write music a lot when I was young, and that's why I have these like the microphone on my side. You know, it's crazy kind of backstory on that real quick. The thing is that it was so funny because I was always around tattoo shops. Now that I think about it, I'm like, damn, I've been around tattoo shops so much. I've met so many artists. I used to hang out at the tattoo studios, and I never, ever thought that I would be a fucking tattoo artist. Never in my life, dog, which is crazy. But yeah, I got out. I went to school for music in Hollywood. You know, I used to write music a lot, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be the next big rapper. So I went to school for that, like to learn how to like audio, like producing and audio engineering music. That's why I looked at your soundboard. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I learned like how to work a whole, you know, engineer board, like audio engineering, pretty much. Like the guys behind the boards, you know, like Dr. Dre and like Timbaland and Scott. Well, they're producers, but engineers. But yeah, I went to school for that. And then I kind of, honestly, bro, I was like fucking around. Because when I was in the military, or when I was in school, the military, if you get out of the military and you go to school, you get what's called a GI Bill. And they pay you while you go to school. Yeah, bro. So at the time, they would pay me to go to school based off of where the school was. So since the school was in Hollywood, I was getting like $2,400 a month for rent. But the thing is that our rent, we split it 3 ways, so it only cost like $600. So I was pocketing a lot of money, working a different job. So school was cool, but I feel like I wasn't taking it as serious as I should have. And I was young, man. I was like 21, 22, 22. I was very young. I didn't take it as serious as I should have. So, but I mean, it was cool. But after a while, I realized I don't want to do this. This is not something I want to do, you know?
I am a dog off the leash. Watch where you step, my vicinity deep. Taste you when we meet as the blood of my enemies seep through my teeth. Claws run deep, move with the pack, so we all gon' eat. TC and NCG, bring the stars out. Bitch, bring the bones out. Welcome to the guardhouse.
So we were living in this townhouse in Paramount, and I had bought a motorcycle, and I was like, Man, I jump around a lot. You know, funny thing about me is that like I'll always try something. I don't care what it is. Like I'm the kind of person that's like I have to try this. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I have to try it. You know. So I was like, I had a motorcycle, and I met friends who had motorcycles, and they went to school for motorcycles, and I was so fascinated that they knew how to fix motorcycles. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Arizona. So I packed my shit, went to Arizona to go to work on motorcycles at a school. Yeah, I straight up just packed all my shit and left like a month. I went to Arizona. I was there for about a year and a half, man. I learned how to work on Harleys. Yeah. Yeah, it's so, my life is so weird. It's so funny. I've like jumped around so much. Yeah, I went there, bro. I went to Arizona. Was there for about a year and a half. Learned how to work on Harleys. Then I came back to California. After I graduated, I came back to Cali. I got a job at this Harley Davidson dealership in Canoga Park. Top rocker. And then I was there for a while, dog. I was there for like 2 years, I think. The timeline's kind of messy. But I was there for like 2 years. And then I ran into an old friend. And he goes, hey, Rock, like, I need some help with this. I need somebody I can trust. And that person is you. This is an opportunity. I want you to think about it. Now, the opportunity he presented to me was pretty much, you know, go and run his business. And I was like, shit, like, all right, you know, and he was like, what do you want in life, man? And I was like, shit. You know, at the time, you know, I was like, man, I want this car that you know, this really, really nice car I've always wanted. And I want to live in Irvine. And there was all these like materialistic things, you know, that I wanted, but there were goals that I had for myself that I needed to accomplish. And he was like, come take care of my business and I'll make sure that you get what you need, you know, as far as like, you know, you'll be able to afford it. So I went back to the dealership and I said, hey, look, man, I have this job opportunity and this is what he's offering me. And also I want to stay here at this dealership, but I want a raise, and like we can't give you a raise. Now I knew my worth at that dealership, you know, and not at the risk of sounding arrogant or narcissistic. I feel like I've always had like this aura. People tell me all the time that they feel like every time I come around somewhere, like I bring good energy, I guess. And the only reason why I say that is because people keep telling me that, so I just believe it now. But I feel like, you know, when you know you're good at something, you know you're good at something, right? And I was like, damn, I'm very, very like valuable to this dealership. And like, I know my worth. Like, hey man, all I'm asking for is a couple dollars in a raise. And like, no, we can't give it to you. So I was like, fuck it. And he thought I was bluffing. So I said, all right, I'm leaving. So I left and I took the opportunity with this guy, and that shit changed my life, dude. You know, like I told you earlier, he taught me pretty much how to run a business. You know, my whole life, I've always been like the whole except the military. The military is salary, but it's like bullshit salary. But my whole life, I've been 9 to 5, dog. You know, working for the man, you know, and he really taught me how to think outside the box. Yeah, man, and that's exactly it, dude. When I was young, you know, like my mom, she worked at like a grocery store. My dad, I think he worked like for a while he worked at like that cup of noodle place at Nissan company or something. But he was also like what is it called? He makes parts. Now he works for SpaceX, but I forgot what it's called. But it's a certain kind of engineer. I don't know what it is, to be honest. But he makes parts for certain things. But yeah, man, so my whole life I've always been around people who work 9 to 5. You know, I thought that was like, that's America. That's America, bro, right? 9 to 5, pay your taxes, you know, and don't do nothing else. Like, we don't want business owners. We don't want people making money. We don't want people figuring out, you know, how to do this and that. And he taught me, bro, to not think like that. You know, I think one of the biggest things that people, I feel like, for example, people are like, damn, I hate my job. I can't stand my job. But the benefits, dog, that's always it. if you ever meet somebody, bro, and they tell you that they hate their fucking job, but they're staying for one reason and one reason only, because of benefits. And he taught me that. He goes, yeah, people are slaves to the benefits, man. And I thought, damn, like, he really tapped into my mind, dog, like, how to think different. And yeah, as you mentioned, bro, like, when you work a 9 to 5, you don't have time to do the things you love, right? So let's say, like, in Los Angeles and California, right, we already pay a lot of money for rent. You work a 9 to 5, you got to be up at like, what, 7, maybe 6, depending on where you live, because of traffic. To get 15 miles, you got to compensate for at least an hour of traffic, dog. You know? So boom, let's say you wake up at 6, bam, you're up, 6:45, you're ready to go, boom, you're on the road, get to your job, 7:45, 8 o'clock-ish, right? Do what you got to do, eat your breakfast, whatever, boom, 9. 9 o'clock, you work to 5. From 5, you got to think about traffic to go home. Get home like at 6-ish, right? And if you have kids or whatever, you don't really have that much time, I mean, to do something that you love, or you're exhausted, or whatever the case is, right? And that's why I feel like, you know, 9 to 5s are just the worst. They are, bro. And it sucks to say that too, but it is. I think we're trained in school, bro. We're, you know, like, I don't want to get too in depth and all that shit, but yeah, we're trained from the beginning, bro, from school. You go to school at this time to this time, you have a lunch, you have a break, you know. And if you're creative and if you think you're weird, oh, you're a distraction. Well, stay on topic, Rocky. Don't talk about that kind of stuff. Why don't they don't teach us finances? They don't teach us how to start a business. Nah, they don't want that, bro. They want slaves.
I said it's hard not to kill rap. Peel back the head of your favorite rapper. No brainer, he got screwed, get your deal back. Independent till I sit in leather. Stars and roof match. Underdog, you think you the one, but I am too strapped.
I was there for like 2 or 3 years. I was there for 3 years, bro. And at this point, I learned so much, like payroll, taxes, how to run a business of like, 10, 12 people, hiring, all the other shit, payroll management, stuff like that. I was making good money, bro. Yeah. I mean, I was able to buy my car, my dream car. I was able to get that, and I lived in a very nice apartment in Irvine. I was good, bro. And to be honest, anytime I felt like I needed a raise, or the company was doing well, he would give me a raise, and he would do what he had to do to take care of me. He didn't want me to leave. He wanted me to take care of his business. But it was then came my homie Tony, my homie 12 gauge Tone, my sister's boyfriend, my brother-in-law, pretty much. It was funny. My sister and we hadn't talked in a long time, and then I ran into my sister, bro. I ran into my sister at a family event. I hadn't seen my sister in a long time, dog. We hadn't talked, which is crazy. It sounds crazy, but we hadn't talked in like a year. And I ran into we were at my cousin's house, and I was there kicking it, and my sister pulled up, and I hadn't seen her in a year, right? And I was like, oh shit. And she brought this fool, this motherfucker. I was like, who the fuck is this? And then I saw my dad like dap him up. I was like, whoa, like who the fuck is this guy, But it was my fault because I wasn't around too, right? But then I was like, yo, who the fuck? So I told my sister, I was like, hey, who's this? She's like, oh, this is my boyfriend Tony. I was like, all right, cool. Whatever, I was like side-eyeing this fool. Who the fuck? And I remember I was about to leave, and I told my sister, hey, let's go outside. We want to talk. So I talked to my sister, because we hadn't talked in like a year. I was like, do me a favor, go ahead and grab your boyfriend. She's like, why? I was like, Monica, go grab your fucking boyfriend. So she's like, this is after, she tells me this like a couple days later. She's like, I went to go tell Tony, hey, my brother wants to talk to you. So he comes out. And I wasn't trying to intimidate him. I'm not that kind of guy, fool. I'm very straightforward. I'm transparent. And I just told him, hey, bro, you're dating my sister. I don't know who you are really, blah, 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 whoop. No need to be like, I'm not trying to talk to him in a condescending tone or anything. Just, this is my sister, bro. Take care of her, blah, blah, blah. So then after I knew my sister was in a relationship, I thought, all right, well, my sister and I made amends. Let's start hanging out. So then she started bringing Tony around. I told her, I said, hey, let's hang out. Let's have lunch. Bring your boyfriend. Because I want to know who the fuck this guy is. You know, he's dating my sister. And he's a real cool cat, man. I love that dude, man. It's my homie. I don't talk to him that much, motherfucker. But, yeah, I still love you, bro. I miss you. But, yeah. He would come around, and I didn't know he was a tattoo artist. He was tatted up, yeah, he was. So that's kind of why too. I looked at him like, who the fuck, you know, like, you know. And I'm not small. I'm 6 foot, dog. He's a little shorter than I am. So I was kind of like, who the fuck is this guy, you know? It's so funny. And then so like, you know, a couple times go by, and a couple dates, I guess, go by, and I mean, this guy's cool, you know. And my sister was like, he's a tattoo artist. I was like, Monica, I don't give a fuck if he's a tattoo artist. Like, I just want to meet him as a person, you know. And I never let him tattoo me until like way later, because I didn't care about that, dog. I didn't want a tattoo from you, homie. I want to know who you are. And it turned out he's a fucking awesome person. He's a feed-him ass dude, bro. Like I said, I love him. He's my brother-in-law. And so that's how the tattooing started, you know, because I would hang out with them, and after we became cool, I would be like, hey, bro, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm tattooing. I'm going to come check it out. So I'd watch him tattoo. And I was like, damn, you know, that's dope. Like, you get down, bro. Like, but his was black. He does black and gray. So obviously I do lettering. That's my specialty. I do black and gray, but I specialize in lettering. And I kind of started like diving more into it. Like, all right, like, damn, this is dope. And I would see the stuff he would produce, and you know how he was able to just like, you know, do what he wanted, bro. He didn't work for the man. Even though I was doing my own thing, I still had a man. I did, bro. I still had somebody I had to report to. You know, and Tony's young, dog. And I was like, damn, this fool's young as fuck. You know, doing what I want to do, like being your own boss. And I just remember, you know, time kept passing, and I was like, fuck, I want to do this, man. And I thought my outlet was lettering, because, you know, Big Sleeps, one of my idols, he's made a living off of just doing lettering. You know, other guys too, like Norm and Big Sleeps, you know, a couple of other homies that I know. But I was like, fuck, like there's like a category in the tattoo world for lettering. And I was like, man, like when I was young, I used to do a lot of like writing on people's like backpacks and on their folders. And I was like, what if I take my artistic flow with lettering and try doing it with tattooing? So that was my initial plan. I was like, fuck that. I want to tattoo lettering. Because after I found out there's such a huge, not a mass following, but lettering is penetrating the industry to where it's like, it's having like its own identity. And I was like, I'm going to try this. And that's how it started. You know, I was like, man, I want to do this. And shout out to my girlfriend. She bought me my first machine.
The art I exhibit run deeper than tattoos. Snoop and DPG be the reason that I'm smooth. Bar for bar, a game on my bucket list. Who could fuck with this? Muster up a couple of chumps for lunch in my oven quick. Untold story, I'm troublesome with my pencil tip. Ate a slot on mixtapes, I figured I would try it. If you on my level, you buried me with a shovel. I'm as real as AD, see walking top of the devil's roof. M proof, Nas rock him, mixed in an envelope. Sprinkle Machiavelli at gin and juice, sip the devil's soup aside of Nas and Hover beef. Rare if you cut an open beat, dope MC from the notes. If he study rap like a notary, notably know they notice me in silence like a scope on me. Huh.
Yeah, it was a Cheyenne. And it's so funny, dog. It's so funny because I was so adamant. I was like, man, Bishop had just released the wand, the OG wand, the Packer liner and shader. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, man, like, I want to do this. I want to try this on part-time. Like, I want to try tattooing. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, but the supplies are expensive. So I was like, I gotta put some money aside and buy my supplies. I didn't expect her to buy it for me. I was gonna buy it myself, but she ended up buying it. But I remember telling her, yeah, babe, Bishop just released this new machine. It's called the Bishop Shader, and I'm gonna get it. And fast forward, she talked to Tony because Tony's an artist and he has, he has access to that. And she's like, hey, I want to buy Rocky his machine for her anniversary. And Tony's like, all right, cool. You should get this machine, which was a Cheyenne, which is the machine he uses. And she's like, I don't know. He really wants this Bishop machine. And he's like, nah. He wants a Cheyenne. And she fucking bought the Cheyenne. And I remember she presented it to me in a file. We had just bought a printer at the house and we wanted to test the printer out. She goes, oh, I'm going to test out this printer real quick. I'm going to print something. And she printed the receipt, the order receipt for the machine. So when I pulled the paper that she printed, I was like, nuclear Cheyenne. I was like, tattoo machine. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, happy anniversary. I'm like, oh shit. And I can tell she knew I was slightly like disappointed because I was like, Cheyenne, thanks, babe. But I mean, I was happy, but like 2 months later, I bought a Bishop. Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm gonna buy this Bishop. Oh yeah, bro. I mean, I used that Cheyenne maybe like once or twice. No, I'm lying. I used it a couple times. I'm lying. I did use it a couple times. I remember when the supplies came, Tony called me and was like, hey, Rock, because we used to live in Irvine, dog. I don't know if you know Irvine. Irvine's far. It's off the 405, way down south. And he said, hey, Rock, hey, bro, we got all your supplies. They're here. And I was like, fuck. I told my girlfriend, hey, babe, let's go. It was late at night, too. I had to work the next morning. I was like, let's go get them. We drove all the way up to L.A., and my girlfriend was like, hey, you want to do a tattoo? I was like, really? She goes, yeah. Bro, you know the movie Toy Story? The little green aliens? Bro, that shit was maybe like an inch tall. Maybe like an inch and a half by like an inch, right? And she's like, let's do it tonight. I was like, all right, fuck it. So we pulled everything out and Tony helped me set it up. Bro, that tattoo, I swear to God, took me like 3 hours. Like 3 or 4 hours. That shit was so small, but it took me like 3 hours. And I remember Tony holding up his phone with the light, like falling asleep. Like he was trying to hold the phone and like dozing off. I was like, Tony, he goes, I'm awake. And I felt so bad because I was like, damn, he's probably thinking to himself, Rocky, this is taking you way too fucking long. It was like 2 a.m, dog. That was my very first tattoo on a person. It was my girlfriend. She's a ride or die for sure. Love you, baby. But yeah, that was the first tattoo. And then I was kind of like scratching, my sister Monica, like she's let me tattoo her. My girlfriend Jasmine, my other sister Maricela, Tony. A lot of those, like, very, very close people, let me tattoo them in the beginning. And a lot of them, they didn't come out bad, but they're, first tattoos. Yeah. My homie Rico let me tattoo, my homie Justin, my homie JT, and yeah, bro, it was kind of like, so I was working, at the garage art company and still tattooing, So I was like, okay, here, boom, boom, and then I remember I had an opportunity, bro, where I was like, man, I need to make it happen to where I can tattoo more, and I had gotten sick. Like, this is when like COVID was happening, I had gotten sick, and when I got sick, I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. Like, it's considered COVID. So I got tested and I came back negative. Okay. This is funny. I came back negative, right? And I was like, man, fuck this. I'm going to turn this negative into a positive. I'm gonna turn this shit into a positive. So I took a picture of it, bro, and I went on Procreate and like I scratched it out, Made it look off feed, man. I circled the S. And I sent it to him. I was like, hey, I got COVID. He's like, oh, shit. All right. Take the month off or take 2 weeks off. I was like, paid. I was like, all right. So when that happened, bro, I was like, fuck this. I got to make it worth it. You know? So I was like, I'm going to do all the tattoos I fucking can. So I was like posting on Instagram like cheap tattoos for like $50, $40, free. I was tattooing in my house in Irvine in our kitchen. Oh man, like in the living room and in the kitchen. But people were fucking with it. You know why, bro? Because it's Irvine, bro. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's fucking like, bro, Irvine's so nice. I promise you, I guarantee you will not find a piece of trash on the ground in Irvine. It's that nice, bro. It's crazy. Not one homeless in sight. It's ridiculous, bro. Bro, you drive to Irvine and then you come back to LA, it's like a whole new world. It's crazy. So when I tell them, I live in Irvine, they weren't really tripping, dog. Because they would have come to the apartment. The apartment complex is super nice, bro. I live on the first floor, so I had easy access to the street and the balcony. Yeah, bro. So they would come up to it. Oh, wow. Okay, damn, this fool is in Irvine. All right, shit. Like, all right. And then they would walk in. And it was, bro, I'm a very professional type of person, dog. So everything, was safely wrapped. My homie Tony taught me. And I had a fridge, and I kept the stock food with drinks and food. So whenever a client came, I make them feel comfortable, dog. Like, hey, welcome to my place, blah, blah, blah. We're going to tattoo you here. And if you ever need anything to drink or you're hungry, I've been doing that, dog. From the beginning, because I've always treated my clients like, they're the number one priority, right? So every time they would come over, I'm like, hey, if you need anything to drink, we have drinks here. If you get hungry, let me know. I'll buy your food, So, yeah, I was tattooing them at home, but it was more like of a service. And I think I tapped into that because I was tattooing at home. So I had to make them feel like, why should we go to your house? Oh, damn, this guy's offering us this and that, and he's making us feel at home, very comfortable. I would have the TV on with movies. I would tell them, hey, you guys could buy if they brought somebody, if they brought kids, whatever, but hey, you guys watch TV, surf the internet or surf Apple. If there's a movie you want to watch, I don't have it, just buy it and you can watch it. And people took advantage of that, and that was cool because I wanted to provide that, bro. That experience, That's rare. Yeah, bro. I just like I told you before, dog. With the camera on or the camera off, anybody who really fucks with me, people who know me, I'm just a humble dude. I mean, I look like that. I mean, like a fucking mean, ferocious type of person. I'm chill, dog. Like, I'll give anybody the sweater, the shirt off my back, And yeah, bro. I started doing that a lot. So then, what happened was that I started tattooing a lot of people. And then I started gaining a little bit of traction. And then I found out about sponsoring on Instagram. So in the very beginning, and what I tell a lot of artists, man, like, even my homie Gino, when I first started tattooing, like I said, I learned so much from the businessman, right? Yeah. And I learned how to run ads and this and ROI, return on investment and blah, blah, blah. So once I started tattooing a little bit more, making a little bit more money, right, I would take deposits of like $100. Okay. Now, since I had that other job as income, tattooing was kind of like extra money. So my thing was, all right, I need to make my money work, or I need to find a way to sponsor on Instagram without using my money. So what I would do is, when clients would send me a deposit for a tattoo next week, I would use that deposit money to sponsor their tattoo. So I would never spend my own money. So let's say they're paying $300 next week. They send me a deposit of $100. That day next week comes, they give me $200 in person. That $200 is in my pocket, but that $100 they gave me for the deposit is sponsoring their tattoo. So I would never use my money. Never.
Le pido a Dios que te torture hasta que te vuelvas loco.
Respect
puso el instrumental mientras yo voy sacando el cuaje. Trancamenos en mal viajes, los selecto del drenaje. Como una fiera salvaje, solo espera que lo encaje. Que me puche otro brebaje, que su puta avión se baje. No espere que me rebaje, mucho menos me relaje. Mientras letras impregnadas en piel como tatuaje.
You know what? Yeah, so in the beginning, yeah, bro, like Tony taught me a lot, dog. At least for black and gray. Not so much lettering, because he doesn't do lettering. But he helped me a lot, bro, with black and gray. He taught me some secrets, you know, for smooth shading. There was a couple of times, bro, when I was tattooing late, dog, and him and my sister would drive from fucking Los Angeles all the way to Irvine and help me tattoo, dog. He's been there a lot. In the very beginning, he helped. He wasn't always there. Like, he was there when he could be, you know, because I mean, fuck, he had to work. He lived in LA. I wasn't paying him. I'd buy him food, but you got a life too, dog. And I wouldn't expect him to always be there at my beckoning call. But he did help me. Like, I would watch him a lot, bro. I'm a visual learner, right? So I would see how he would apply his tones and do these certain things. And there's things that he does that I don't like, and that's fine, you know. And I'm the kind of person that will take things from everybody. I like that. Okay, don't like that. I like that. Okay, I don't like that. So the things that I really liked that he did, I would keep it in my back pocket, you know, as in my arsenal. And then other things I would just learn trial and error or watching YouTube. But for sure, Tony taught me how to apply tones as smooth as you can. You know, he also taught me how to dab instead of like wiping stencils, like dabbing stencils. I remember he always taught me that. Yeah, so when it came to smooth shading, he helped me with that. Obviously, somebody could tell you how to do it, but until you apply it yourself, you know. You know, I think because when I met Tony, he worked in a private studio. See, the thing is that I come from, I'm only 32 years old, but I remember when I would get tattoos, you'd have to go to a shop, right? And then they were like, it was funny, you had to like print out the paper and like draw it and trace it, and there was no Procreate, none of this shit. So when Tony first tattooed me, and he had an iPad and all this shit, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? What is all this? Like, then he had a wireless, his pen, he had a Cheyenne pen, which is not a Koyo, and I was like, so I was really new to all this stuff, and I was also new to the fact that you no longer need to be in a shop, like a walk-in shop. You could be in a private studio. So I think finding out that he worked in a private studio, I was like, well, why would I want to go to a fucking tattoo shop when I could be in a private studio? Because it was him and his homies, you know, and they're playing their own music, and he comes in and he comes out. He comes and goes as he pleases. At a walk-in shop, you got to be there, wait for walk-ins, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this is what I want. I want to be in a private studio. I was tattooing at home for, a couple months, bro. And it's crazy how it happened. A couple months, I was tattooing at home, and I brought up earlier my homie Jose. I hope you watch this, motherfucker. I'm gonna post it, Jose. You better watch this. You better text me, dog. I was tattooing a couple months, fool, and then some random chick hit me up, crazy, and she's like, "Hey, your work is really, really dope." And looking back now, I'm like, bitch, you were lying. My work was whack, you know? But she was like, hey, your work is really, really dope. I was focusing on lettering, you know? And you should come to our shop, check it out. And I was hyped. I was like, oh, shit. It was like way up in bumfuck, like Hollywood, I think. And I went up there, bro. And I was in there hyped. I went in that bitch, like, excited, fool, you know? Like, and I didn't know all of this until after, but I found out that later the owner was like, man, that guy is too energetic. He's too hyper. And then Jose, my boy, was like, man, it's because he wants it, dog. Like, he wants it, homie. And I remember walking into that shop real small, bro. It was tiny, dog. Tiny. And I was like, damn, like, you can't even walk in this motherfucker, you know? And I remember when I got to the back of the shop, I looked to my left, and I seen all this beautiful art on the wall. And that was Jose's station. And I never met Jose, right? I was talking to the owner. I won't say the owner's name. I'll keep that, disclosed. But I was talking to the owner, woo, and, telling him, I showed him my new piece, and I had only been tattooing for like a month or two, bro, I think. He's like, damn, this is your work? I was like, yeah, bro. He goes, wow, all right, like, cool. And I was just really excited. I brought my pen, I brought my sketch pad. I was like, I'll draw some lettering right now, homie. Like, what you want, fool, And then Jose pulled up. And I was like, what's cracking, bro? I was like, my name's Rocky, dog. I was like, hey, what's up? My name's Jose. Woo, woo, woo. I was like, that's your station right there? He goes, yeah. I was like, damn. So I started asking him all these questions. If I remember correctly, there was a Kobe Bryant piece that he had. And I was fucking flabbergasted, fool. I was dumbfounded. I was like, damn. I was like, that shit's dope. And I was like, I gotta meet this fool. So when he pulled up, I was like, I'm taking this opportunity, dog. Like, I'm all about networking, fool. You know what I mean? And I love showing people, like, look, I'll probably talk about a lot of people on this right now, because this is not even about me, dog, right? This is about the people who inspire me too, And I want people to know that it's okay to, like, admit people inspire you. It's fucking weird. People are like, nah, nobody inspires me. Like, I'm fucking cool. Like, no, you're fucking stupid, Fucking whack. But yeah, dog. And I was like, I'm gonna meet this fool. I gotta network with this dog, And I was like, hey, bro, it's a down ass piece. He goes, thanks, bro. I was like, what machine do you use? Oh, I use a Bishop Shader. And that's when I was like, that's the machine I want. That's what I want. Because you get that smooth, buttery shading. And I was talking to Jose, and I remember, oh shit, he's gonna kill me probably, but I remember I was talking to that fool. He was like leaning up on his BMW, and he was like eating. He was eating a burger, and he had an apron on, and he had I think ketchup or something in his apron to like pull it out of his pocket, sprinkle on his burger, take a bite, put it back in his pocket. I'll never forget that shit. I was like, damn, this fool's strapped. He's ready to go. Like, he knows how he eats his burgers, And I was just talking to him, bro. He's feeding my ass cat, dog. And, he came off real cool, answered my questions. And I was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram, bro. I was like, hopefully he follows me back. Like, I was like, all right, bro, nice to meet you. And that was that. But I ended up not going there. Because I was like, man, because you know what? The guy was like, hey, I was like, I have to tattoo today. He goes, well, if you want, go back home, grab your stuff, and come back up here and do it here. And I didn't do it. And actually, I'm glad I didn't. Fast forward later, Jose tells me, like, yeah, bro, good thing you didn't go there. Because, Jose bounced. He bounced from there. Everything happens for a reason, bro. And it was a cool experience. The shop owner was cool, I did come in there super energetic, obviously, I'm excited. And Jose was like, yeah, he's just hyped, dog. And it's just crazy, dog. Like, fast forward, like seeing where I'm at now, it's like, it's crazy because, my boy Jose, he saw me before anybody saw me, which is kind of crazy to think, like, damn. That's why I fuck with Jose. It's my dog, Yeah, underscore HOZAYARTS, Jose Arts. Yeah, that's my dog, bro. So it's just crazy, to see it now. And he told me too. He's like, "Damn, bro, it's a trip. Seeing how far you've come, fool." Like, I'm like, "Thanks, bro." Yeah, man. And then I had got some guy named Johnny Ocean. Yeah, he owns this place called Mojave Creative in Santa Monica. They were like looking for artists, and I hit him up. He's like, come to the studio. I was like, all right. So I went to the studio. And remember, this is the time where I'm sick. Remember the whole COVID thing? Yeah, I'm sick. And I was supposed to go to work that Monday, and I met up with this guy, Johnny, like a Saturday or a Friday. And I remember I had a talk with him, and I was all hyped. It was a walk-in shop on Santa Monica. And he was like, all right, bro, that's it. We want you to start working. You start Monday. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, my God, I'm so excited. Oh, my God, I'm going to start at a walk-in shop. And then now I look back, I'm like, damn, like it wasn't my style. But backtracking, Tony was buying my supplies. He was buying me supplies from the nuclear van. And so the owner of the gallery is Julius, my boy Julius. I don't know if you guys follow him, Julius_Cordero. He owns the gallery DTLA where we're at right now. And Julius saw Tony buy all these supplies. And Julius asked him, like, damn, who are all these supplies for? And Tony's like, oh, they're from my brother-in-law, you know. And he thought I was his apprentice. He said, no, he's not my apprentice. I'm just buying him all this stuff. So Julius I was on his radar because of Tony, because him and Julius are homies. And I remember Tony was like, hey, man, my homeboy Julius is opening up a studio in downtown Los Angeles at a penthouse. And I was like, damn, fool, you should do that. And this is before I became a full-time artist, right? I was like, damn, fool, you should do that, bro. Like, that sounds fucking dope. He goes, yeah, man. I don't know, though, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, well, you know, whatever happened. And then, like, a couple of weeks went by, and I find out that, you know, Julius opened up the studio, and Tony's now going to go. And I remember Julius hit me up, because Julius would comment on my pictures and stuff. You know, like, that looks dope, bro. That looks cool, you know? Like, it looks like you're progressing. And I never met Julius. Never met him. But we were talking through DM. And we were talking a lot through DM, bro. And I remember Julius hit me up. We never met in person. And he seen my work evolve. And he was like, hey, bro, I got a spot that's opening in April. Do you want it? And at this time, it was March, bro. So I started tattooing around seriously in January. February passed. March. I had already come back from COVID leave. I was working at a job. And I hated that fucking job now. I hated it. Because when I was off for that month and I was tattooing, I fucking hated it, bro. I was like, I can't do this shit no more. Like, I want a tattoo. And I was fed up, bro. I would come home mad. I'd be like, I'm fucking done with this, man. And I remember the moment it changed for me is one day I was supposed to tattoo on Saturday. And my boss calls me. He's like, hey, I need you to come in today. I was like, I'm off today. No. He goes, no, I need you to come in. We got to do something today. And I had to cancel on my client. And at that moment, bro, I was like, I will never, ever allow somebody to do this to me ever again. I will never allow somebody to tell me, no, stop what you're doing. You got to come in to work. That should change my life, bro. I was like, fuck this shit. Hell nah. I can't tattoo now because you're telling me I gotta come to fucking work? Fuck this. So my whole perspective changed. Fast forward, Julius hits me up. He goes, hey, Rock, I got a spot opening in April. It's yours if you want it. I say, done. I didn't even fucking think about it. I hit on this earlier with you. I didn't even think about it. I said, done. And it was like March, bro, mid-March. I was like, fuck, I gotta tell this fool I'm gonna quit on him. You know, the guy's been running his business for 3 years. He's gonna quit on him. 2-week notice. I didn't even think about it, dog. I was like, whatever. I didn't think about the money. I didn't think about anything. I was just like, fuck it, I want to be a tattoo artist. So, you know, that nice ass car I had, this nice ass apartment, I wasn't thinking about my finances. I was just thinking to myself. And that's when I realized, bro, like money, that shit. Yeah, it's cool. I know money's a motive and we need money in this world, in this life. But I ask any tattoo artist how many tattoos they've done for free or for cheap because they love tattooing. You don't go to fucking In-N-Out and be like, hey, you know what? Today I'm going to work for free. Don't pay me. You know what I mean? Like, that shit doesn't happen, dog. It doesn't happen. Motherfucking tattoo artists, bro. Hey, you know what? To show my appreciation, I'm going to do a giveaway. Because we don't even see it as fucking work, bro. We don't. We fucking, I love it, dog. I'll tattoo my homeboy for free. You can pay me if you want, dog. It's cool, but I'll do it for free. You know what I mean? I'm not going to work at Best Buy, dog, talking about, I'm going to do an 8-hour shift for free. Don't pay me, dog. Nah, fuck that. You're going to pay. I ain't coming in. You know what I mean? So that's what it was, dog. I was like, man, I'd rather do this. So I was like, I gave him my 2-week notice, and I was scared, bro. But he was really happy for me, bro. I was stressed. When I tell you I was stressed. I was like, fuck, how's he gonna feel? Like, is he gonna feel a sign of betrayal? Honestly, dog, he was so happy. He was like, Rocky, I'm happy for you. He goes, I knew you weren't gonna work for me forever. He's like, I taught you too much. That's what he said. I taught you too much. He's like, you're a natural born leader, and like, yes, you have to be a follower first, but you followed enough now, Yeah, and honestly, bro, like I don't know, it might sound ridiculous, but I needed that. I needed that from him, because I had committed so much to that business, and I learned so much. He's taught me so much. So to get that blessing was cool. So yeah, I told Julius to say, all right, if I'm ready, let's do it. And then I started in April 20. What year are we in? 2023? April 2021. So I started tattooing officially January, like starting January 2021. I was grinding hard. What year are we in? 2023? So this would be, no, wait. Yeah, I've been tattooing for 2 years. So 2021, 2022. Yeah, so 2 years. So 2021, January 2021 is when I started tattooing like people, like no, like tattooing, yeah, from home, like tattooing, and then I started at the gallery in April. And it was cool how it worked out because my birthday's April 2nd. My birthday's coming up, by the way, everybody. My birthday is April 2nd. So when Julius said, hey, bro, you can start early, start April, I was like, damn. And at that time, we had already planned my birthday trip. So we were going to Vegas for my birthday. So I thought, damn, like everything was aligning, bro. Like, boom, we're going to Vegas for my birthday. Then, bam, I come back. I'm a tattoo artist full time at the gallery. Everything was it was so seamless, bro. I was a little worried about finances, but I knew I could figure it out. But yeah, bro, I started officially at the gallery April 2021.
Ganándome el respeto quieto al que siempre se excede. Que cualquiera puede, pero no cualquiera lo hace. Mi musa no busca excusa, abusa en pleno desenlace. No importa que me canse si guardo algo de energía. La luz de la oscuridad de la ciudad es quien me guía. ¿Quién lo diría? Todo cambia en absoluto. Hasta la fecha prendo mecha, espero cosechar mi fruto.
Composition, for sure. Composition, like lethal composition, meaning like taking like 3 or 4 different fonts and merging them together, And that's a perfect segue, bro, because now that they introduces us to my homeboy Bees, right? Tattoo _ BEEZ. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who he is by now. But he's like fucking famous, But that's my dog. Remember that, bro. Remember that, motherfucker. Still homies. Don't be fucking deleting my phone number and shit. But that's a segue, bro, because my homie Bees, he is my inspiration when it comes to lettering, So I feel like, at first I would do like regular lettering, like basic cursive and some black lettering. But after meeting my homeboy, he put me on game, dog. Like, so when you're asking me what's the next step is to take it even further, right? To push myself beyond my comfort level, and that's composition. But not everybody. The thing is that in the tattoo, for clients, they want to see it, right? Like, oh, let's do some dope composition. Well, what does that mean? And if I don't have to show them, they're like, well, I don't want to get it done if you've never done it. Even though I know I can execute it, they want to see it. We're like visual people, so they want to see it done first. But yeah, man, definitely composition, and then mixing my black and gray and my lettering together. That's what I want to do more of. But yeah, pushing the boundary, try to get lines even crispier, and but definitely composition and different styles of lettering. Yeah, so I started doing black and gray. It's crazy. I think one of the first times I attempted black and gray, not without Tony's help, like on my own. Fuck, man. I had attempted this Bernini Jesus. Oh, man. That was probably That was the one time I wanted to quit tattooing. Yeah, bro. Oh man, it was a free tattoo. It was a giveaway. I never tried like black and gray really, and it was a free giveaway. And I think his name is Jesse Lycan, and he came to the studio, and we're gonna do this Bernini Jesus. Never attempted any kind of black and gray like this before. I was way out of my element, and we tattooed it on his thigh. And it came out so fucked up. Bro, it was bad. It was fucking bad. And I remember, dog, like it was yesterday. I was so stressed that I stopped tattooing. And I was like, damn, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. I can't. Like, I can't be a tattoo artist. I went outside, smoked like 6 cigarettes, bro. It was crazy. I was like, I was stressed the fuck out. All the homies came down. My homie Julius, homie 12 Gauge, my homie Banks, Brian, Banks _tattoos, and my homie 714, George, he used to be here. They all came down. We were in the balcony, and they were like, Rocky, it's cool, dog. Remember I said earlier, white lies. Rocky, it's cool. It looks fine. You're tripping. But I know, like you motherfuckers can't lie to me, dog. I know what the fuck I'm looking at, you know? And they're like, Rocky, you're tripping, dog. It looks cool, bro. Like, chill. Like, it doesn't look that bad, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, they're your homies, so you start kind of believing them, even though you know what it looks like, but you start believing them because they're your friends. And I was like, I can't do this, I'm going to quit. And they're like, no, you're not. You're not going to quit. What the fuck? And in my head, I was like I said earlier, you know, like if you quit once, you'll quit again, you know? And that's why I'm glad I didn't quit, because I knew that if I quit that tattoo, I would have quit on another tattoo. And I just remember being so stressed out, and I took like a 20-minute break. And you know what, to be honest, the real reason why I finished it, dog, that dude Jesse, and I've told this story to a lot of people, but I've never told him, and I've been meaning to tell him. And I never spoke it out loud. The only reason why I finished that, man, when I came back from the balcony, Jesse was like, look, Rocky, he's like, I don't give a fuck how you're feeling. I don't care what you think, but you're going to finish this tattoo, bro. Now, he didn't tell me in a condescending tone. He told me in a way that was comforting. Like, I believe in you. He's like, I believe in you, bro. Just, you got this. Finish it, bro. Don't do that, Rocky. Don't quit on yourself, bro. And I was like, damn. Did that make you feel like, bro, that food, he doesn't even know. That food changed my life, bro, like in a huge way. He doesn't even know how monumental that moment was for me, bro. It was huge. Like, the gravity of that was like, damn. I was like, all right, bro. You're right. I am going to finish this. I am going to. And it's funny because like a year later, I attempted that same tattoo. Then I posted it. It was crazy. But yeah, that was the one time, bro, where it was just like, fuck. Like, I was like, damn. Yeah, I'm going to quit tattooing, but I'm glad I did it. So today I used a Bishop Packer one, 4.2 stroke. Yeah, that's the machine that I use. I use Big Sleeps ink. That's my sponsor. So I use a gray wash. So I use Big Sleep's Killer Bee Black, and then I use his Ghostline gray wash, and then I use Blue Magic. I'm not gonna say how many drops I put in there, but I use like, nah, I'm just kidding. I put 4 drops. I put 4 drops of Blue Magic in my Ghostline gray wash, and then I use Bishop Shader and Packer, but today I use a Packer. It's a 4.2 stroke. I use it only for my lettering, though. I use only Quadrant. I use Quadrant now. I got put on Quadrant a couple months ago, I think. Maybe a couple months ago. I don't really know. I remember somebody told me Quadrant liners are like super sharp. You got to use them. So I used them for lettering, you know, and then I started using their mags. And yeah, I like their mags a lot. So I use Quadrant needles, Bishop machine, and then Big Sleeps ink. And then we use Canna ink, which is like an ointment from my homeboy Jake. Shout out to Canna ink. He's a sponsor too. It's pretty cool. So you could DM me on Instagram. Like I said, it's Rockyg Inkz. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. You can email me, but I don't really look at my emails are for like business. So DMing is like the best way. The best thing is like name, right? Well, obviously name. Their name, what they want done, references if they got them, placement as far as body, size, not small, big, or medium or large, like actual size, like with a ruler, like inches. But the best client would be like, hey, bro, I want to get a tattoo. This is what I want, a reference. This is where I want it, a picture. This is how big I want it, size. That's pretty much the best client. And I'm available these days or whatever. Usually I'll shoot all my clients my calendar, and then like I have like a booking info sheet that they have to read before they book with me, so they understand what I'm asking and try to keep it professional. Yeah, there is a deposit. There's a non-refundable deposit, $200 deposit, nothing crazy, and that's just for my time, obviously to work on the design. Or if you don't show up, I'm still gonna get paid, you know. And then usually when it comes to black and gray, man, like on my booking info, it'll tell you too, but I don't show anybody the design, because you know what I hate, man, is like when you show somebody a design and they fucking love it, then they go show somebody, and then that person's like, oh, that's cool, but what if you do? It's like, okay, well, whose tattoo is it now? What the fuck? So I don't do that. Like with lettering, you ain't seeing shit till the day you come into the gallery. Black and gray, same thing. So I got a couple people to thank for sure. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, my homeboy Tony, you know, my brother-in-law Tony, for pretty much introducing me to everything, you know, as far as like kind of opening my eyes to like bigger things, you know, showing me the ropes in the very, very beginning. So for sure, number one, Tony, because he has helped me a lot along the way, like with just opening the door for me. You know, he opened the door to pretty much all of this. I mean, granted, yes, we do things on our own, but he was somebody who kind of assisted in that, you know. I don't think I've ever would have found tattooing like this without him, you know. Second person for sure, my homie Julius. You know, oh wait, so first of all, let's see here real quick. Before, what is it? So thank my homie Tony, who his Instagram is 12G Tone, right? I just want to at least give these people the Instagrams. Yeah, 12G Tone. That's my homie Tony. Next is Julius, the owner of the gallery DTLA. So the gallery's page is at the gallery DTLA. Julius is the owner, Julius_Cordero. I want to thank him, man, especially because he gave me this opportunity to be at this gallery, you know, at this penthouse studio, you know, and I feel like him and I have done some great things here, you know, as far as like bringing things to the table, bringing ideas, you know. That's my boy, man. I love that dude, and really, he's one of the people that I can appreciate the most because he did open that door for me. You know, he took a guy that was starting to tattoo and trying to find his way through, and you know, being here has opened up all these doors and it has allowed me to meet a lot of people. You know, we have a lot of guest artists come, and it's allowed me to meet these people. Another one is my homie Danny. He's D Tats LA. That's my dog. I haven't really talked about him too much today, but yeah, man, that's my dog, bro. To be honest, last year, you know, I met Danny in November last year, and 2023, right? I met Danny in 2021 of November-ish, and you know, he gets down on black and gray, bro. And I remember telling him, I was like, man, I really want to get better at black and gray. And he was like, bro, we'll start. He's like, imagine if you start black and gray now, which is 2022, and next year you'll have 1 year in. So now I have a solid year of like more black and gray work. So I want to thank him too for sure, because he helped push me into doing more black and gray. And he's always there to help me out, dog. That's my motherfucking dog, bro. Love that dude too. You know, he's helped me get better at black and gray. He always has advice for me, willing to share his tips and tricks. There's a lot of other people I could think too, you know, but those three for sure. Then the last one for sure, my homeboy, my homie Tattoo Bees, tattoo_bees. I feel like that's the one I gotta thank the most, you know. Fuck, dude, like, you know, I mentioned earlier, you know, I FaceTimed him earlier when we got done with the tattoo. Yeah, that's my dog, bro. You know, I could go on and on about this fool, you know what I mean? Start crying and shit. Nah, just kidding. Nah, but yeah, man, he's like I told you earlier off camera, you know, he's one of, if not the biggest inspiration. You know, he gets down on black and gray, he gets down on lettering. But I will say this, and I'll always tell anybody, bro, anybody who knows me, dog, like, I will always be grateful for that dude, you know what I mean? Because he has really helped me evolve, bro. Like, not in just lettering, but black and gray, but particularly a lot in lettering. You know, he's always shared his tips and tricks with me. He's never gatekeeped anything, dog. And, you know, it's crazy. I told you earlier, he was like he's still an idol of mine, but before he was like a guy on Instagram that I would watch tattoo and I would want to get tattooed by him, you know. And then one day, you know, I was at the gallery and I hit him up, say, hey, come guest spot. He came and, we became homies since. Yeah, bro. So for sure, I want to thank my homie Bees because he taught me a lot, bro. We've been homies for only about 1.5 years, but it feels like it's been forever, you know. But he taught me a lot, bro. He's put me on game, and definitely one of the biggest reasons why I am where I am today, for sure. So good look at my boy. Love you, dog. If you made it this far in the interview, I appreciate it. I've been talking a lot of shit, and for those who have watched the whole thing, I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to come get tattooed, hit me up on Instagram, Rockyg _Inkz, and let's get it done, man. Thank you for tuning in on this episode of Blazted.
I am a dog off the leash. Watch where you step, my vicinity deep. Taste you when we meet as the blood of my enemies seep through my teeth. Claws run deep, move with the pack, so we all gon' eat. TC and NCG, bring the stars out. Bitch, bring the bones out. Welcome to the guardhouse. I wanna know who could rock with me though. I wanna know who could top all these flows. I wanna know who could pop up at shows with a flock of these hoes and just nod at them, no. Look at the time, I got nada for you. I'm a dog, but the devil's in Prada and shoes. Few kings in this bitch, not a lot you can choose. Got a part in my goons, I'm a prodigal too. Switch my demeanor like audibles do. I've been plotting and scheming on all of you fools. Now I'm popping and screaming on audio tunes. Get around like I'm pocking a drop or a coup. Stop the speculation and the guessing. My nuts have dragged through every city you rest in. I am the IE, the Riv to the Dino. I'm Tony Fontana, I'm fucking Pacino. Aye.